Some messages comfort you. Some messages encourage you. But this one may disturb you. Because when God speaks clearly, He does not come to decorate your life. He comes to change its direction. And not everyone is ready for that. Not everyone wants to hear a voice that calls them out of comfort, out of control, and into complete surrender. But if you feel something stirring in your heart right now, if you sense that quiet conviction you cannot ignore, then listen closely, because this message may be the one God meant only for you. There are seasons in life when God draws a line in the sand, not a line of rejection, but a line of decision. A moment where everything becomes clear, and the heart must choose. This is one of those moments. This message is not for everyone. It is for those who feel the stirring inside, the quiet pull of the Spirit saying, "Pay attention. This is for you." God spoke clearly. He said, "Stop running in circles." Many people spend years moving, but not progressing. They are busy, but not fruitful. They are active, but not aligned with God's purpose. It is like a man walking on a treadmill. He sweats, he struggles, he moves his legs, but at the end of the hour, he is in the same place. God never created you to live in circles. He created you to move forward. But forward requires faith. Forward requires obedience. Forward requires letting go of the things that feel safe but are not part of God's plan. God spoke clearly. He said, "What you are holding on to is holding you back." Sometimes the greatest enemy of your future is not the devil, not your circumstances, not other people. Sometimes it is the very thing you refuse to release. It might be an old habit. It might be a relationship that drains your spirit. It might be a dream that was never from God in the first place. Many people pray, "Lord, bless me," while tightly gripping the very things that block the blessing. But God does not pour new wine into old wineskins. He asks for surrender before He gives increase. This message is not for everyone. It is for the one who feels God asking for something difficult. The one who senses that a change is coming. The one who knows deep inside that God is calling them to step out of the familiar and into the unknown. God spoke clearly. He said, "Do not depend on what you see." The natural world teaches us to rely on evidence. We believe after we see. We trust after we touch. But faith works in the opposite direction. Faith believes first, and then it sees. Think about a farmer. He does not wait to see a harvest before planting seeds. If he did, he would starve. He plants because he believes in the unseen process happening beneath the soil. He trusts the law of sowing and reaping. In the same way, God asks you to plant seeds of obedience, prayer, generosity, and faith, even when you see no immediate result. The harvest always comes after the season of waiting. God spoke clearly. He said, "Your words shape your future." Many people curse their own lives with their own mouths. They say, "Nothing good ever happens to me." They say, "I will never succeed." They say, "My life will always be like this." Words are seeds. Every sentence you speak is planted somewhere in your heart, in your mind, in your future. Negative words grow negative expectations. Faith-filled words grow faith-filled outcomes. This message is not for everyone. It is for the one who is tired of speaking defeat, the one who is ready to declare life instead of death, hope instead of despair, faith instead of fear. God spoke clearly. He said, "You are not alone in this battle." Many people think they must fight their struggles with their own strength. They rely on their intelligence, their connections, their resources. And when those things fail, they collapse. But God never intended you to carry the weight of life by yourself. His strength becomes real when your strength runs out. His power appears in the middle of your weakness. A candle in the daylight looks ordinary, but the same candle in a dark room becomes a precious light. In the same way, God's power becomes most visible when your situation looks darkest. God spoke clearly. He said, "Prepare for what I am about to do." Before every miracle in the Bible, there was preparation. Before the rain came, Noah built the ark. Before the walls fell, Joshua marched around them. Before the resurrection, there was the cross. Preparation is an act of faith. It is saying, "I believe God will move, so I will get ready." This message is not for everyone. It is for the one who feels God stirring their spirit, telling them to pray more, to change direction, to take a step of faith, to prepare for something greater. God spoke clearly. He said, "Do not be distracted." Distraction is one of the enemy's greatest tools. Not every distraction is evil. Some are simply unnecessary. A good thing at the wrong time can become a bad thing. Many destinies have been delayed, not because of sin, but because of distraction. People spent their energy on things that did not matter. They chased opportunities that were never meant for them. They filled their time with noise instead of purpose. But when God speaks, He calls for focus. He calls for attention. He calls for a heart that says, Lord, your voice matters more than anything else. God spoke clearly. He said, this is your moment. Not tomorrow, not next year, not when everything is perfect. Right now. Many people wait for the perfect time to obey God, but the perfect time rarely looks perfect. Moses stood before the Red Sea with an army behind him. David faced Goliath with a sling and a stone. The disciples followed Jesus without knowing where the road would lead. God does not call you when you feel ready. He calls you and then He makes you ready. This message is not for everyone. It is for the one who senses that this is their moment of decision. The one who knows that God has been speaking, nudging, calling, and waiting. God spoke clearly. He said, step forward, not with fear, not with hesitation, but with faith. Because when God speaks, His words carry power. They carry direction. They carry life. And those who listen and obey will discover that His voice is not just a sound. It is the beginning of a new future. Some messages comfort you. Some messages encourage you. But this one may disturb you. Because when God speaks clearly, He does not come to decorate your life. He comes to change its direction. And not everyone is ready for that. Not everyone wants to hear a voice that calls them out of comfort, out of control, and into complete surrender. But if you feel something stirring in your heart right now, if you sense that quiet conviction you cannot ignore, then listen closely, because this message may be the one God meant only for you. When God calls you forward, He does not always show you the entire road. He shows you the next step, and for many people that is uncomfortable. The human mind wants a map, a guarantee, a detailed plan with clear outcomes. But God deals in trust, not in blueprints. He gives direction, and then He waits to see whether the heart will obey. God spoke clearly. He said, walk by faith, not by sight. That sounds poetic, but in real life it feels like stepping into a fog. You cannot see far ahead. You cannot predict every outcome. You only know that God has spoken, and that is enough. Think about a child learning to walk. The child takes a step toward the parent, not because the floor is safe or the balance is perfect, but because the parent's arms are open. The child trusts the person, not the situation. In the same way, faith is not confidence in circumstances. Faith is confidence in God. This message is not for everyone. It is for the one who feels the fog around them, the one who does not have all the answers, the one who only has a word from God and nothing else. God spoke clearly. He said, stop measuring your life by other people's progress. Comparison is a silent thief. It steals joy, peace, and contentment. It whispers lies like you are behind. You are not good enough. You are not successful. But God never asked you to run someone else's race. He gave you your own path, your own timing, your own assignment. A seed planted today cannot be compared to a tree that has grown for 10 years. Both are part of the same process, but they are in different seasons. God spoke clearly. He said, your season is changing. Seasons do not last forever. Winter feels endless when you are in the middle of it, but spring always comes. Night feels long, but morning always arrives. Some of you have been in a long winter, a season of waiting, struggling, praying, and wondering if anything will ever change. But when God speaks about a new season, everything can shift in a moment. Doors that were closed for years can open in a single day. Situations that looked impossible can turn around overnight. This message is not for everyone. It is for the one who refuses to give up in the winter. The one who keeps praying even when the sky looks dark. The one who believes that spring is coming, even when there are no signs of it yet. God spoke clearly. He said, guard your heart. The heart is the center of your faith. If the heart becomes bitter, faith begins to fade. If the heart becomes hopeless, prayer begins to feel empty. Life has a way of hurting people. Betrayal, disappointment, loss, and failure can leave scars. And if those wounds are not healed, they become walls. Walls that block love, block faith, and block the voice of God. But God is a healer, not just of bodies, but of hearts. He restores what was broken. He renews what was damaged. He gives peace where there was pain. God spoke clearly. He said, do not quit before the miracle. Many people give up one step before the breakthrough. They pray for years and then stop right before the answer comes. They work hard for a long time and then quit just before the reward appears. It is like digging for water in the desert. You dig 10 feet and find nothing. You dig 20 feet and still find nothing. At 30 feet you feel exhausted and decide to quit. But if you had dug just one more foot, you would have hit water. Faith keeps digging. Faith keeps praying. Faith keeps believing. This message is not for everyone. It is for the one who feels tired but refuses to quit. The one who may be on the edge of giving up, but deep inside still hears the whisper of God saying, keep going. God spoke clearly. He said, your obedience today will shape your tomorrow. Every small act of faith matters. Every prayer, every kind word, every step of obedience is a seed. And seeds always produce a harvest in their time. You may not see the result immediately. You may not feel the impact right away. But nothing done in faith is ever wasted. God sees it all. He remembers it all. And at the right time, He brings the increase. This message is not for everyone. It is for the one who is ready to obey, even in small things. The one who is ready to trust, even when it is hard. The one who is ready to listen when God speaks. Because when God speaks clearly, it is never just information. It is an invitation. An invitation to step into a new life, a new direction, a new purpose. And those who accept that invitation will discover something powerful. God's voice is not only guidance, it is the doorway to transformation. It is for the one who senses that this is their moment of decision. The one who knows that God has been speaking, nudging, calling, and waiting. God spoke clearly. He said, step forward, not with fear, not with hesitation, but with faith. Because when God speaks, His words carry power. They carry direction. They carry life. And those who listen and obey will discover that His voice is not just a sound. It is the beginning of a new future. Some messages comfort you. Some messages encourage you. But this one may disturb you. Because when God speaks clearly, He does not come to decorate your life. He comes to change its direction. And not everyone is ready for that. Not everyone wants to hear a voice that calls them out of comfort, out of control, and into complete surrender. But if you feel something stirring in your heart right now, if you sense that quiet conviction you cannot ignore, then listen closely, because this message may be the one God meant only for you. Transformation does not always look dramatic at first. It rarely begins with fireworks or loud celebrations. Most of the time it begins in silence. It begins in a quiet prayer, a small decision, a private moment where a person says, Lord, I surrender. God spoke clearly. He said, do not despise small beginnings. The world celebrates big victories, grand openings, and sudden success. But God often starts with something very small. A tiny seed becomes a great tree. A small cloud becomes a mighty storm. A humble manger becomes the doorway for salvation. Many people miss God's work because they are looking for something big and immediate. They want instant results. They want visible change overnight. But God is not in a hurry. He works deeply before He works visibly. He changes the heart before He changes the circumstances. This message is not for everyone. It is for the one who is in a small place right now. The one who feels unnoticed, unimportant, or overlooked. The one who thinks nothing significant is happening. God spoke clearly. He said, what I start, I finish. Humans begin many things and leave them incomplete. Projects remain unfinished. Promises remain unfulfilled. Dreams remain half-built. But God is not like that. When He begins a work in your life, He does not abandon it halfway. Even when you feel stuck, God is still working. Even when you feel silent, God is still speaking. Even when you feel forgotten, God is still faithful. Think of a sculptor working on a block of stone. To an outsider, it looks like the stone is being damaged. Pieces are falling off. Dust is everywhere. But the sculptor sees something different. He sees the shape inside the stone. He knows exactly what he is creating. In the same way, the struggles and changes in your life may feel like loss. They may feel like something is being taken away. But God is shaping you into something greater than you can imagine. God spoke clearly. He said, let go of control. This is one of the hardest commands. People like to feel in control. They want to manage every detail, predict every outcome, and secure every possibility. But control is an illusion. No one controls tomorrow. No one controls every circumstance. The more tightly you hold on to control, the more anxious and exhausted you become. Faith is the opposite of control. Faith is release. It is placing your life into God's hands and saying, you know better than I do. This message is not for everyone. It is for the one who is tired of carrying the weight of everything. The one who feels overwhelmed by responsibilities, worries, and fears. The one who is ready to rest in God's hands. God spoke clearly. He said, "My timing is perfect." Humans live by clocks and calendars. We measure time in minutes, days, and years. But God moves according to purpose, not pressure. There are things you want right now that would destroy you if you receive them too early. There are blessings that require preparation. There are answers that require maturity. A fruit picked too early is sour, but the same fruit picked at the right time is sweet and satisfying. In the same way, God's blessings come at the right season. God spoke clearly. He said, "Stay faithful in the waiting." Waiting is not wasted time. Waiting is preparation time. Waiting is growing time. Waiting is strengthening time. A bow must be pulled back before the arrow can fly forward. The tension is not punishment. It is preparation for distance. This message is not for everyone. It is for the one who feels pulled back by life. The one who feels delayed, restricted, or held in place. The one who wonders why things are not moving yet. God spoke clearly. He said, "You are being prepared for something greater." Every challenge has a purpose. Every delay has a lesson. Every struggle has a hidden strength inside it. The fire that melts gold also removes its impurities. Without the fire, the gold remains mixed with dirt. But through the heat, it becomes pure and valuable. In the same way, the difficult seasons in your life are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to refine you. God spoke clearly. He said, "Do not lose hope." Hope is a powerful force. It is the light that keeps shining even in the darkest night. It is the quiet confidence that tomorrow can be better than today. When hope dies, faith struggles to survive. But when hope is alive, even the hardest situations can be endured. This message is not for everyone. It is for the one who feels hope slipping away. The one who feels tired, discouraged, and uncertain about the future. God spoke clearly. He said, "I am still with you, not only in the victories, not only in the happy moments, but also in the storms, the valleys, and the nights of tears. He walks with you when no one else does. He listens when no one else understands. He stays when everyone else leaves. And when God is with you, the story is not over. The chapter may be difficult, but the ending is still being written." God spoke clearly. And for those who are listening, this is the moment to respond. Not with fear, not with hesitation, but with faith, surrender, and trust. Because when you answer the voice of God, you step into a life that is guided, protected, and filled with purpose beyond anything you could have planned on your own. It is for the one who senses that this is their moment of decision. The one who knows that God has been speaking, nudging, calling, and waiting. God spoke clearly. He said, "Step forward, not with fear, not with hesitation, but with faith." Because when God speaks, His words carry power. They carry direction. They carry life. And those who listen and obey will discover that His voice is not just a sound. It is the beginning of a new future. Some messages comfort you. Some messages encourage you. But this one may disturb you, because when God speaks clearly, He does not come to decorate your life. He comes to change its direction. And not everyone is ready for that. Not everyone wants to hear a voice that calls them out of comfort, out of control, and into complete surrender. But if you feel something stirring in your heart right now, if you sense that quiet conviction you cannot ignore, then listen closely, because this message may be the one God meant only for you.